This is Visitor's Book, and I'm Maija, your host. In this program, we're going to be meeting with diplomats and foreigners who are here in Pakistan, and we're going to find out what they really think about the country. So let's go. So our guest today is the Danish ambassador, Rolf Holmboe, and we're here at his residence, so let's go meet him. Hello.
Hello and welcome to my place.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
It's a great pleasure.
Thank you.
Please.
Thanks. So you're on your third year now, is that correct?
I just started my third year in Islamabad in Pakistan.
Yeah, so how has the experience been so far?
It's been great.
Yeah?
I've spent some time in the Middle East. I had some inkling about what it might be like to be in Pakistan, but I was very pleasantly surprised when I arrived. You hear the media reports, and invariably the media reports are mostly negative, and they show all the bad things.
Yeah.
So when I came, I was pleasantly surprised to see a beautiful city like Islamabad, well planned, very green, which is something we also appreciate in Denmark. The fact that you have a green living space, you have fresh air, you have air that regenerates itself during the night. So that was a pleasant surprise. And then all the people are so nice, people are so polite, which is not always the case in Europe.
Yeah, that's true.
So that was also a very pleasant surprise. And then I had the big pleasure of traveling around the country and experiencing all the different peoples, all the different religions, all the different parts of the country and all what they have to offer. And then of course the cuisine.
That's great.
The Desi cuisine.
But yeah, so you mentioned Middle East. Which countries were you posted to before?
I've been posted to Palestine. Then I came to Damascus in Syria, but then the war started.
Wow.
So then I also took over our embassy in Beirut in Lebanon.
Okay.
And also we had a small office in Jordan, in Amman. So it is Bilad al-Sham, as it's known in the Middle East. It's the Levant.
Yeah.
Those are the countries that I have served in the Middle East.
Okay. And which was your previous posting before Pakistan?
Just before Pakistan, I actually spent a couple of years in Canada, 2 years in Canada, because my wife also works in the Foreign Service, in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and she was posted to Canada, so I took 2 years of leave to be with the family.
Ah, that's so nice.
Before that, I was in Syria and Lebanon, and then was because of the war, it was not a family duty station, so I was there alone. So,
and now they're here with you, or?
My wife also works in the Foreign Service, and so she stayed in Canada when I came here.
Okay.
It was a little long commute, about 30 hours to go there. Now she's back in Denmark, and our kids either study at university, or our youngest kid is in his second last year in school.
Have they come to visit you here yet?
They will. They will be coming. I've been trying to tell them about the good things.
Yeah.
And we like the outdoor life a lot. So I think it would be going to the north, going for some hiking in the fantastic mountains of the north. Yeah. The Karakoram, the Himalayas. The fantastic mountains, the fantastic scenery that there is in the north, the lovely people, and the great use of fruit in the cooking there.
Amazing. So, how long has Denmark had an embassy in Pakistan?
Well, we actually had an embassy for many years. We started out in 1949.
Okay.
But that was, of course, back in the Karachi time.
Yeah, exactly.
And we moved to Islamabad, I think, with most other embassies when Islamabad became the capital of Pakistan. So we have a long history here. We were one of the first airline, the Danish or the Scandinavian airline system, it's called. It's between Denmark, Sweden, and Norway. Yeah. It was one of the first international airlines to land in Pakistan after partition. And it established itself in Karachi. And it flew to Karachi on not a daily basis, but 2 or 3 times a week.
Amazing.
And so this was both, a way to come into this region, and also a hop to other places in Asia. In those days, you could not fly direct for such long flights.
Yeah, exactly. Are there any plans of maybe starting that service to Pakistan again?
There have been plans by some airlines. I cannot mention them specifically here, but we're still waiting for these plans to materialize. But I think it will come in the future,
yeah.
And it will be quite interesting. It will also offer Pakistanis more easy and cheaper access to the world.
Yeah, that's great. And what makes Pakistan an important country for Denmark? Like, why is it important for Denmark to have an embassy here?
Well, I mean, obviously Pakistan is an up-and-coming country. So for that reason, and it's also the 6th largest country in the world,
yeah, exactly.
Which makes it a very important country by itself.
Yeah.
And also the fact that if Pakistan does sort of move ahead and move into various sectors, then there's a very interesting possibilities of cooperation between Danish companies and Pakistani companies. I can mention one, a small Danish company called Select. They were the first company to export something from Sialkot. And that was before, this is 46 years ago, this was before anything else had ever been exported from Sialkot.
Really?
And now Sialkot is the export capital of Pakistan.
Yeah.
So these cooperations between a Pakistani company and a company on the outside, in our case a Danish company, I think is very interesting.
Yeah,
and it's in all our cases, it's produced fantastic results. Select, they work with Maija Industries up in Sialkot. We now take 3.5 million highest quality in the world footballs from Pakistan to all over Europe.
Yeah, wow.
And they give these footballs. They are used for the major football leagues in Europe. Football is the cricket.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same as cricket.
Yeah.
We have soccer or football in Europe. It's the same as cricket here.
Yeah.
And then Maija Industries together with Select, they did a separate company called Darbystar in Germany, and they just took over the contract for the Bundesliga, which is the biggest football league in all of Europe.
That's great.
So it's 1.8 extra million footballs per year.
Yeah.
So this is a great export for Pakistan.
Absolutely.
And it shows that if Pakistan, through cooperation, Pakistan is actually able to not only produce high quality goods, but the highest quality goods. The best footballs in the world come from Pakistan.
Wow, that's amazing. And that actually reminds me, I wanted to ask you about the Danish Trade Council here in Pakistan. Like, they are obviously trying to promote trade between Pakistan and Denmark.
Yeah, the Trade Council is something that we sort of grew for some years ago. And the idea is to promote trade. Not just Danish exports to Pakistan, but also Pakistani exports to Denmark.
Yeah.
And the idea is, I mean, Denmark is a very important country. We import almost everything.
Yeah.
So why not import it from Pakistan?
Yeah, exactly.
So what we are trying to do is to build partnerships between Pakistani companies and Danish companies, and through that also provide opportunities for Pakistani companies. For instance, Maersk, which is the world's largest shipping company, it's a Danish company. And that it takes almost a quarter of all goods going in and out of Pakistan is transported by Maersk. And they do that faster and cheaper than anybody else. So they are providing a good opportunity for Pakistani business to export markets. If the Maersk had not been there, they would probably be doing it more expensively or certainly slower.
Yeah.
So this is a good cooperation, a good example of cooperation.
That's great. And so you mentioned footballs. What other products are important between Denmark and Pakistan in trade?
Yeah, what we have, our trade council at the embassy is a small team, 4 people, basically working day and night there to promote business cooperation. And apart from transport, I would say we have a company like Novo Nordisk. Novo Nordisk was the first company in the world to produce insulin, which is used for diabetes.
Yeah.
And this is very interesting for Pakistan because in Denmark, 1 in 18 will be pre-diabetic, in danger of becoming diabetic, or have diabetes. In Pakistan, it's 1 in 4. The prevalence of diabetes or undiagnosed diabetes is much higher.
Yeah.
And Novo Nordisk was a company, it was founded by 2 doctors, and one of them, the wife, she was a diabetic herself, and they were touring the US, and they heard about 2 Canadian doctors that had isolated the insulin hormone. And this could do something for diabetes. So they traveled to Toronto in Canada, and they got the first license to develop insulin for medicinal use and do the first production. And in 1923, the first insulin was put on the street by this company.
Great.
And today it's the world leading company in not only diabetes, but also in obesity.
Yeah.
And they are very present in Pakistan. Because it's a company that was founded by doctors, it's not a commercial company in the same term. Their stated aim is to eradicate diabetes, which basically means to eradicate their own business.
Yeah.
But that's because it's led by a foundation of doctors that leads this company. So it generates income, but only to perpetuate its own operations and do research and development in various non-communicable diseases. So they're very active. They have a big office here in Pakistan. They are active in working with the government of Punjab and working with the government at the federal level in preventing diabetes.
Yeah, wow.
We are now planning to do some work in schools, because there are sort of two things that can help anybody from contracting diabetes. It is a little more healthy lifestyle, more exercise, and a little more healthy food.
Yeah.
And you don't need to do too much, but a little more exercise and a little more healthy food, then you're already on the good way to avoid having diabetes.
Exactly.
And one of the biggest, if you want, ambassadors for this work together with Novo Nordisk is Wasim Akram, who himself was diagnosed with diabetes when he was 29. In the middle of his fantastic cricketing career.
Yeah.
And he took close to 400 wickets after being diagnosed with diabetes. So he's a role model. He's showing that if you do a little more exercise, if you eat a little more healthy, you can live if you do have diabetes, you can live a very good life. If you do not have diabetes, perhaps you can avoid having it in the first place.
Great.
So it's good to have role models like Wasim Akram.
Absolutely.
It's good to have a company that really involves, and they are very much involved with children. I was at a cricket camp where it was with children, and we were playing cricket with diabetic children.
Wow.
To show the good thing about exercise. Wasim Akram was playing on one team, I was playing on the other. Their team won.
Yeah. As it would.
But it was great fun, and this, preventive work, which is, I think, in particular good at the schools, and that's why now they are trying to get more prevention awareness into Pakistani schools.
Yeah, excellent. So there's a pretty sizable Pakistani community living in Denmark as well. When did the Pakistanis start immigrating to Denmark, and what was the reason behind that?
Well, it's one of the groups that came first to Denmark, and they came to Denmark in a period where we didn't have enough workforce. The economy was growing very fast, and we didn't have enough workforce. And Pakistanis then started coming to Denmark. This is back even in the 60s, but in the 70s was a particular active period. Yeah. And they started coming to Denmark, and some of them stayed on in Denmark, and they have their families in Denmark. They are now integrated in Denmark. We have I can't recall the exact number of members of parliament we've had from Pakistan, but it's quite a few.
Okay.
And we have two now. And we've had one minister who was also of Pakistani origin. And we have some of the highest journalists in Denmark are also of Pakistani origin.
Oh, that's amazing.
So, I mean, actually they've done quite well. Yeah. They have integrated very well. They have shown that if you prioritize education, you can go far in society. And what the Danish society has to offer them is that if you do come to Denmark and you get a residence permit, you have free access to these services, which is free education, not only for schooling, but also for university. And not only do you have free university, if you qualify for university through your grades, you get a stipend of about $1,000 per month.
Okay, wow.
That is to make sure that the children, the boys and girls of the poorest families can also afford to go to university, not just those with families that are well-to-do.
Yeah, so equal opportunities.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. And what about Danes in Pakistan? Are there a lot of Danish people coming here for work or anything like that?
It is not as much as there probably should be.
Yeah.
Because of the bad times. Then there was a somewhat of a slowing down of visits. The government of Pakistan is now doing a big effort in trying to promote tourism.
Yeah.
They're also trying to make it easier to get into Pakistan with e-visas, and all these things that makes it easier.
Yeah, exactly.
What will make it easier is if there's no visa, because tourists sometimes they say, let's go somewhere, and then they say, oh no, we need a visa, and then they stop.
Exactly. Yeah.
But this is something for the future, I think. But Pakistan, the government is working a lot to try to make it more attractive and easier to come to Pakistan. And some of the challenges to bringing larger number of tourists is still probably that the tourist infrastructure still has to be developed.
Absolutely.
I mean, there are hotels, but you need an array of hotels, not only at the top level, but also at the middle level.
Yeah.
You need transport infrastructure that can work for tourists.
Yeah.
You need tours. You can go around. You can go to the Swat Valley. You can go. All these things, and I think that this is something that will slowly come as the number of tourists is probably set to increase over the coming years. I cannot, and if the security situation continues on its good progression of stabilizing, then I think there's a good potential there for tourists to come back.
Excellent.
Now I think it's lunchtime, and I would very much like to show you a few Danish dishes.
Okay.
But more importantly, a fusion between Danish sort of cuisine way of thinking and Pakistani way of thinking. But I will show you in the kitchen.
Okay, that sounds delicious. Great. Time to take a short break. See you in a bit. Welcome back. We're here in Mr. Ambassador's kitchen and we're getting ready to prepare some Danish dishes. So what are we going to make today?
We will make first, I will introduce you to one of the specialties of Denmark.
Okay.
It's a liver pate.
Oh wow.
Every school child who goes to school will have this. They will have it on very healthy bread. It's a rye bread.
Great.
White bread, of course, is full of carbs.
Exactly.
It's not that healthy.
Yeah.
This is very fibered bread. So in Denmark, if a child goes to school, they will have, this is called a sort of a Scandinavian open-faced sandwich.
Exactly.
And they will have something on it. And liver paste or liver pate is one of the most normal things, the most common things to have on rye bread.
Wow. Sounds amazing. So do you get this liver pate here in Pakistan or you prepared it somehow using local ingredients?
Yes, I made it here. In fact, I made it yesterday. And this was made from chicken liver.
Okay. All halal.
Yes, you need chicken liver. You need a little butter. Mm-hmm. You need a little cream. Mm-hmm. You need some vegetables, some onions, some garlic that you sort of blend into it. And it's very quick. You just sear the livers on the pan. Mm-hmm. Not cook all the way through, but only sear them. Yeah. And then together with the butter, together with the onions and the garlic, you put it in a food processor, you blend it up, and then you put it into some sort of shape, and you cool it down. And a few hours later, you have your liver pate.
Excellent.
It's a soft liver pate. It's not a firm one, as you can have in other countries. It's a soft one that is meant as a spreadable on the bread. I will show you how to serve it. Okay. So what we do normally is that we take the rye bread. Mm-hmm. I will just make a smaller portion, and then you normally put a little butter on it. Okay. But we will stay healthy today. We will not do this. All right. Then we take the pate. And we cut a slice, sort of like this. Mm-hmm. And we sort of place it here. Wow. So this basically is the dish itself, but now it has to be garnished. Of course. All Danish open-ended, open-faced sandwiches need to be garnished.
All
So
right.
what we do in the mango season is that we do a mango chutney.
Okay.
Slightly spicy mango chutney.
Wow.
So we will make a little sort of a combination with the mango chutney, like this. And I've made an oil. So we will make it with a chive oil. Chive, these are small onions before they become onions.
Exactly.
They have a very condensed taste. And if you blend them up for 8 minutes just with oil, then you take away the green stuff, then you have a fantastic oil that is very flavorful.
Wow.
And like this.
Very impressive.
So now you have the first dish that you will taste. This is a Danish open-faced sandwich with liver pate. The Pakistani touch is the mango chutney, together with a chive oil. In Denmark, we have a lot of chive, and we love the chive on our open-faced sandwiches.
Looks delicious. Excellent.
So, please.
So this is like your hobby, cooking. This is what you love to do, even back home.
Yeah.
Yeah? Do you cook every day, or is it just like something you do maybe on the weekends? Or
We do it quite a lot. I have a chef here at the residence, Rashid, and we do a lot of cooking together.
Yeah.
And he's learning a lot about Danish cuisine.
Yeah.
I'm learning a lot about Pakistani cuisine, and we're mixing it. So we're also making, sometimes a little fusion kitchen.
That's amazing.
Which is great, because it makes it fun.
That's cool. And in Pakistan, it's not so common for men to be cooking at home. Is this the case in Denmark also, or is it different?
It used to be like this.
Yeah.
It would be the wife who would be doing, or the mother who would be doing the cooking.
Yeah.
Now it's changing a lot more.
Exactly.
So it's more equal. And people are finding out that it's quite relaxing. If you had a very long day at the office or at the work, you come home, you can relax doing some cooking. You enjoy yourself while doing it. I certainly enjoy myself.
That's like for me, if I come home after a long day, I'm like, I'm definitely not cooking anything today.
And you go for fast food?
Maybe I will.
Oh my God, this is so unhealthy. Now let's start with a main dish if you want.
All right.
And to stay within the healthy way of cooking, we will do a vegetable stew.
Okay.
And the idea is basically you use the vegetables you have available to you in that season.
Okay.
So in Denmark in the winter, it would be cabbage a lot.
Exactly.
Cabbage and things that can grow far into the winter. And when it's hard winter and the snow is there, then nothing is growing. Then you've put some stuff. You've jarred it in vinegar. Or cabbage you can keep. Potatoes you can keep for a long time.
Yeah.
We tend to eat a lot of potatoes, a lot of cabbage in the winter months.
Yeah.
And then in the spring, of course, it all restarts with the tomatoes and all the
Great.
So the idea basically is that we take some vegetables, we cut them up. Mm-hmm. We keep them separate because they need different cooking times, and we very much believe in not overcooking things.
Exactly.
So we want to cook it to the point it needs, or not more than that.
Yeah, and then you preserve the vitamins and nutrients as well, right?
All in it, yeah. And this is a great way of using the vegetables you have available. And the way you add flavor is that you add herbs. You can add herbs. You can also add, if you want, spices, but in our country, it's more normal to add herbs.
Yeah, exactly.
So you will take the herbs of the season, or you will dry herbs. Like parsley is very popular also obviously in Denmark.
Yeah.
You can have things like chives. We don't use coriander that much, but coriander is such a great herb.
It is. It really is.
That we should use it more.
Yeah.
Rucola salad, rocket salad is also like a herb itself. I would do this in a little sort of quick way.
Yeah.
But if I do it too slow, I start to cry.
Exactly. We don't want that. So that's the thing about Scandinavian cuisine is that a lot of people would maybe describe it as kind of bland and not very flavorful maybe, but would you say that's correct?
Well, if you take the traditional cuisine, yes, I would say that's correct.
Yeah.
I mean, we are not as spicy as the Pakistani cuisine.
Exactly, nowhere near.
Now you have new Nordic cuisine has evolved.
Yes,
and
exactly.
The best restaurant for 5 years is Noma, which is a restaurant in Copenhagen.
Exactly.
And the best chef for 4 years, is Renny Ratsepi, who is the head of Norma Restaurant. And this new Nordic cuisine is very much dogmatic in the sense that you use what you have where you are.
Yeah.
And you find the small flavors in different things. They even grill ants.
What?
and sprinkle it over a dish.
Wow.
And you would probably say, I'm not sure about this.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. But if you taste it, you will probably say it's great.
Yeah. Maybe I'll try it.
But it is a step beyond. So New Nordic cuisine is like you had, molecular cuisine from Spain, a very, innovative and forward-looking way of doing cooking.
So but you're not grilling ants in your kitchen yet here.
No, we're not at. But we are though being inspired by some of these things. So, for instance, we do a salad with lettuce, fresh dill when available here, which is not in the summer. Yeah. Some fresh apple, smoked salmon.
Wow.
And perhaps some slices of mango in it.
Great.
And then what we call the grandmother's dressing, mixed up with a little apple cider vinegar, a little sugar and a little cream, easy dressing. Has a sweet sour taste, umami taste. And then you basically just pour it over and mix it up and you have a fantastic, very easy salad.
Amazing.
So now we will move, because this is Pakistan, we will take some chilies as well, of course. I mean, how can we not?
Yep.
And then we will move back to the stove. And we will be cooking this vegetable stew because we are a potato country. We will do some mashed potatoes as well.
Excellent.
We will do it over here at the stove.
Perfect.
Yes. Now we'll take it over to the stove.
Great.
And we will start the cooking up. And for this...
Okay, but I've seen quite a lot of Danish products in the stores, like cheese and stuff like that. Is that the case in most countries over the world, or just in Pakistan? That's what they imported here.
We also have, we have a big cheese production. Okay. We have 2% of global milk production.
Oh, okay, wow.
Arla is one of the biggest dairy companies in existence.
Right.
They're very big in the Middle East as well. And we do a lot of great cheeses. Obviously, France is the country, and Italy and Spain, they do fantastic cheeses. But we also have some pretty good cheeses. Yeah. And some that are made in the artisanal way are always the best. Yeah. So those I like, but we cannot find them here. Yeah. And they're becoming very expensive. But now we need to put some stuff on the pan. So I will just put some of this. Some of these things that take the longest. Okay. We will put on the pan.
So that's zucchini and...
And this is a root. The word in English escapes me.
Turnip or... No, it's not turnip.
Yeah, it's a turnip. It's a turnip. Yeah, that's correct. You're absolutely correct. And we'll let this go for a little while.
So basically, first you saute the vegetables and then you put them in the pot.
Well, actually, the pot. This will be the pot. But now we give them a little because they need to cook the longest to be edible. To be, so we just need to give them a little time.
Great.
A little more of this we can put in. Yeah. Start adding the tomatoes like this, and then it's only a matter of letting it cook. You can also add a tin of tomato. Sort of a tin tomato to give it a little bottom and flavor.
Wow.
We add a little pepper. Like this.
Great. So that's very simple, just salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper, and then from the herbs, you add the flavor that you want. Yeah. So if you like basil, you put basil in. If you like rosemary, that's always a very good thing. You put rosemary in. We will today are putting in chives. We are putting in parsley. And then perhaps we can find a dried version of another vegetable to give it, the flavor of dill or rosemary. Wow. And as you can see, you will have a fantastically fresh dish. I will just clean this one.
Okay, time to take a short break. See you in a bit. Welcome back. We're here in the Danish ambassador's kitchen, and I think our vegetable stew is almost ready.
It is. It is in fact ready to serve now. So what we will do is now we put it on the plate here. I've added some dried rosemary. You can get that around in Pakistan. And here you have, which is a simple everyday dish, very healthy.
Yeah.
Nothing in it that is not healthy.
Amazing. So what's next?
Now we have a very special dish. In Denmark we love fish. In Pakistan there's also a lot of fish. People eat fish or not fish. There are some people that are apprehensive about fish. But what we will do is we will take these. This is a white chonsa.
Okay.
White chonsa mango. This is the end of the mango season, and the white chonsas are in season now.
Okay.
End of it. But the white chonsas are good for using in main dishes.
All right.
Not as sweet dishes. They're also good for sweet dishes, obviously. But they're very, very good to use in main dishes.
Right.
And then we'll take the white salmon, a great fish caught here. And what we will do is that we will take it up to this one, which is a salt block.
Wow.
A salt slab. Pakistani salt block.
Wow.
So this is mined in Pakistan, and it's a great way of cooking. So this one has been in the oven for a little while to heat it up slowly, otherwise it cracks.
Okay.
You heat it up slowly. Once it's heated up, you can give it whatever heat you want. You can put it on the grill, you can put it on the gas, you can put it in the oven, and you can do desserts, you can do main dishes, you can do steaks on a salt block like this.
I've never seen anything like this. Is this like a traditional Pakistani way of cooking, or something you?
Well, it's Pakistani. I don't think it's traditional.
No?
I put, when the first time we cooked on it, I put it on Twitter, and there was a huge amount of interest.
Yeah.
But not many have actually heard about it before.
Yeah, exactly. First time for me as well.
Yeah. So what we do is now we put the fish on. So you can see that this is the white salmon. We put it on. We'll just put some of them on like this, and then we put some of the mango on.
Yeah. Wow.
And I mean, now you can sort of feel it's very, very hot.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, any other pan. It's just made of salt, and it will give a natural salt flavor to what you cook on it.
Wow.
The hotter it is, the less salt it will give.
Really?
Yeah. So if it's not as hot, it will give more salt.
Okay. Interesting.
So that's the way you can sort of regulate how salt the things actually become.
And that must be a really interesting flavor with the sweet mango and then the salt.
Yeah. And that's and now you can start smelling the fish.
Yeah.
So what we will do now is that we will just move these plates a little bit here. We will take our serving plates. We will take our serving plates here. Then we will take a little, and I've made this beforehand. This is a mango puree.
Wow.
But it's mixed with Mexican chipotle chili. It's quite spicy, so we won't put much on the plate. We will just do like this. Then you can choose how much you need.
Perfect.
A layer.
Right.
When you do it.
Interesting.
But there is a little effort in it.
Yeah.
And you can see slowly these are grilling up as well. So here you have grilled mango.
Yeah.
And not many will actually have had grilled mango before.
Exactly.
But with the white chonsa, I think this is a great eat.
Yeah.
These are some mangoes that a good friend of ours, Adil Abbas, who has a mango production, gave us, and a fantastic taste of mango. And also in this end part of the season.
Yeah.
I mean, my favorites are the Anwar Ratol and the big chonsas.
Yeah.
The real chonsas in the middle of the season, but they are not, anymore.
It's too late for that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So now we basically make sure, again, had this been Denmark, we would not cook the fish all the way through.
Exactly.
We would make sure it stays juicy.
A little bit,
but I know Pakistanis, they prefer them to be cooked well, so we will just make sure that it's all cooked, and then we will serve it up on the plate. We will put the mango first, and put a little fish on top.
Amazing.
And we will top it off with a little chive oil. Also a very good flavor with the fish.
Great.
So now I think we're sort of getting there. So now we're just placing the mangoes here on the plate. We'll do the same here. And then we take some fillets of fish like this. And we put them off like this. Oops.
Wow.
This. And
it's delicious.
And then we just grab the chai ball, which is here, and we just give it a small sprinkle, like this.
Great.
And now basically you have two fantastic dishes.
Amazing. Wow.
It's not in the quantity you eat, but it's the flavor that you eat. And that's the thing. And here you have a good mix, I think, a fusion kitchen. The mangoes, the chili, the chive, you can say, we use that a lot in Denmark.
Yeah.
And the fish, we all use fish.
Denmark. Perfect. Yummy.
So let's go eat.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go.
Yeah, all right.
I will take these here.
Okay.
So now we are in the dining room.
Yeah.
Please have a seat.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Here. This.
Wow.
And what you have in the glass is the signature drink of the house.
Okay.
This is a ginger cooler, a little fresh ginger, a little fresh lemon, a little sugar and ginger ale or soda on top.
Wow.
And you have a very refreshing drink.
Excellent. Let's try some. Or skål, as you say in Denmark, right? Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. I love it.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Very good for hot Pakistani weather, I think.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, so
bon appetit.
Yeah, thank you. Wow. Wow. I'm impressed. Maybe you should have been a chef instead. Wow.
It would have been fun.
Really amazing. Absolutely delicious.
That's good.
Wow.
It's a good fish. It's a good Pakistani fish,
yeah.
the white salmon. It corresponds very well to the big fish we have in our area, which is the salmon.
Yeah.
The orange salmon.
Exactly. Wow, that's amazing. So is Denmark very well known in Pakistan in general? Like, do people know a lot of things about Denmark here?
Not always. They do mix up a little bit. They do have some sort of inkling that at least is Northern Europe. But we are struggling to make our part of the world known in Pakistan.
Exactly.
And we do talk to different people. We try to introduce what we have. We try to introduce where we have possibilities of fusion. We have a Danish Pakistani band called Rock Qawwali.
Oh yeah.
And
wow.
It mixes Qawwali music, fantastically rich Pakistani Qawwali tradition, with rock music. And it's a mix. I mean, the lead singer is from Lahore. He's Maija Liuhto, one of the big Ustad families.
Wow.
And then you have a Danish Pakistani, a Danish Iranian, and two Danes playing in this band. And they were down last year, and we are planning to bring them back to Pakistan this year.
Excellent.
To play a lot of concerts and to engage, and show people what fusion can do.
Yeah. But yeah, so what about like Danish authors like Hans Christian Andersen? Do people read his fairy tales here? Have they been translated into Urdu?
They have been translated into Urdu, and basically people will recognize the story, but not perhaps the name of the author.
Exactly.
But many stories are very well known and also loved here in Pakistan, which was a great joy for me to find out.
Great.
He wrote great stories. I mean, it's stories for children, but they always have a small message in it.
Exactly.
Of respect for each other, of respect for life, all these things.
Yeah.
And he catches them very well in his fairy tales. And that's why they are so famous.
Yeah, great.
So this is the next dish that we made, the shrimp.
Okay, let's try. Thank you. And I mean, Denmark is actually such a small country, but you have so many famous people out of Denmark, like so many Nobel Prize winners. What do you think is your secret?
Well, the thing is, we have to invest in education. And our countries, the Scandinavian countries, Northern Europe, generally invests a lot.
Yeah,
education is free all the way up.
Yeah.
It's only on your merit that you come in.
Exactly.
And then you need a sort of innovative spirit. We invest a lot, billions of dollars every year. Companies will invest in research and development. Without that, you do not stay at the cutting edge. If you don't do any research and development, you will be a global economic loser.
Yeah.
You have to do research and development. Companies will have to do it, but what we are particularly good at doing is doing a partnership where universities will invest money in research in certain areas that are also of interest to companies, and companies will also invest, and that will merge together, and then suddenly you have some very interesting innovation taking place. Right now it's in fuel cells. Denmark is sending up nanosatellites like nobody else, 300-400 nanosatellites per year, which are small satellites that basically have a short lifetime but are very cheap to send up.
Great.
So it's the Uber of space.
Yeah, great. By the way, this is absolutely delicious.
This is
Again,
a great Karachi shrimp.
Yeah. So another thing I read that Denmark is doing here in Pakistan is investing in renewable energy projects. Could you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, we have two big companies. One is called Vestas, which is the world's largest wind turbine producer. And one of the first, if not the first, in fact, in the modern era, where they started about 40 years ago. And we have Siemens, which is a German company, Siemens Gamesa, a German-Spanish company, but their wind turbine production is in Denmark. And they are leading, they're both among the 5 biggest.
Great.
And Denmark has been leading this transition to renewable energy. We used to be like Pakistan back in the 1970s, but then we had an energy crisis.
Yeah.
And we found out, with a lot of load shedding, and we found out we need more reliable and cheaper energy sources. So we already in the 70s started to turn towards wind energy, solar and biomass.
Yeah.
And now we are, of all the energy, about 80% is renewable. We are moving up to 50% produced by wind.
Yeah.
And wind and solar now produces at the lowest cost. So we have the lowest energy costs in the world.
Great.
And at the same time, we have high energy efficiency, and that I think Pakistan could really benefit from. We had 50% economic growth from 1990. We use 8% less energy in producing 50% more, which means that we are very competitive because we can cut the cost of the energy or electricity we need for the production.
Great. But so where do you think Pakistan has the most potential in terms of renewable energy? Is it wind or solar power? What do you think is the...
Actually, it's both.
Yeah.
And also biomass. I mean, there are many opportunities in wind.
Yeah.
You have in Sindh, you have the so-called Jhimpir corridor.
Okay.
You have a corridor in Punjab as well. The Jhimpir corridor is 50,000 megawatts of wind potential.
Okay.
That's quite a lot.
Yeah.
It's much more than Pakistan has in its energy sector now.
Yeah.
Pakistan has sun. If you combine the wind in a hybrid way together with solar energy and together with battery storage, then you have the possibility of putting electricity onto the grid in a controlled way.
Yeah.
Because obviously, I mean, the wind energy only produces when the wind blows, solar only when the sun shines.
Yeah.
But if you combine that with biomass and hydro, which is a big thing in Pakistan, they're all compatible and they're all complementary. Then you can control and put the electricity onto the grid that is needed at the time.
Excellent.
And then you need operational planning, intraday operational planning, because you know that you will use more in the evening when people start cooking, or you use more in the daytime when it's hot and all the air conditions are on. That planning is that you can do, and then you can plan for making sure that the electricity is on the grid.
Great. So this was the rye bread with the liver pate. Very interesting. So this has been sort of, I mean, it's not usually this hard. This has been like toasted, right? This bread.
This bread has been toasted.
Yeah. Great.
Because but normally you would take it not toasted, just put some butter on it and you can put meat on it. You can put even potatoes with a little mayonnaise. You can put tomatoes with a little mayonnaise. You can do many different types of open-faced sandwiches.
Yeah.
And it's a great eat.
Yeah, this is a very popular concept in Denmark and Sweden. I think this smorgasbord.
Yeah, in Sweden and Norway as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, this is amazing.
And then with the little Pakistani touch of the mango chutney.
Exactly, perfection. Where did you get this rye bread? Did you bake it yourself or you bought it here?
This particular rye bread I brought from Denmark, but I can bake it here. It takes a little more skill to bake because you bake it off a sourdough that you have to grow and cultivate yourself.
I see.
You only use a small amount of yeast, but the sourdough gives it the taste.
Okay. Yeah, perfect fusion.
It is, but it's a great pleasure to make fusion kitchen because there are some opportunities here that we do not really have in Denmark. We're sort of trying to have more mangoes exported from Pakistan to Denmark.
Okay.
Because the mangoes we get are not good. They are plucked perhaps in South America and they're very green.
Yeah.
And they're too green, so they're hard even when they are sold from the shop. So this quality that we have in Pakistan, that is what I would like to see in Denmark. And the Pakistani ambassador in Denmark, Mr. Gardesi, he is also very active in trying to promote mango. Last year he did a big mango festival and a lot of people were very positively surprised and inspired by the quality of the Pakistani mango.
Wow, yeah, they are amazing.
Yeah. So, I mean, but cooking with mango in Pakistan is a pleasure and a privilege. So far we do not have that in Denmark.
Yeah. Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for preparing all these wonderful dishes for me.
I hope you enjoyed it.
Absolutely did. It was a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So, it's time for our rapid fire round. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Great. Shalwar, kameez or suit?
Suit. Okay. But perhaps next year, shalwar kameez.
Okay. Lahore or Karachi?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I will not answer that question because I will get in trouble wherever I go.
Okay, so let's say both.
I love both. They have something both great to offer.
Great. Cricket or football?
Ooh, that's a tough one as well. Since I came to Pakistan, I'm a great fan of cricket.
Okay. Islamabad or Copenhagen?
That's a tough one as well. I love both cities for what they can offer.
Okay. Biryani or Danish meatballs?
Biryani.
Okay. Licorice tea or coffee?
Licorice tea. Licorice is not my favorite, so I would say coffee.
Okay. You drink a lot of coffee in Denmark, right?
It does happen. Yeah. But I also drink tea. But licorice tea, I like licorice in ice cream.
Okay.
We do that in ice cream. That's great. But not in tea, I think.
Are you a traveler or a bookworm?
Traveler.
Mountains or beach?
Mountains.
One thing most people don't know about Denmark.
I don't think most people know that Greenland is part of the Kingdom of Denmark. And Greenland is the biggest island in the world at more than 2 million square kilometers.
Okay. About Pakistan, what most people don't know.
Well, I don't think people understand and realize how nice the people are and what Pakistan has to offer. That still has to dawn upon the world.
Great. And what most people don't know about the Danish ambassador?
There's probably many things they don't know. Until I put it on Twitter, then I don't think people knew that you can actually cook on salt blocks and that we do it here at my house.
Great. The best thing about Pakistan?
Well, everything. So the cuisine, the people, the places you can go, there's so many fantastic things to visit here, so many fantastic things to do, and such a fantastic set of people to do it with that I could not wish for better.
Okay, now it's time for our last segment, which is the signing of the visitor's book. So let's open it for you. There we go, and your name and your comments.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
All right.
Great.
Here you have the message.
Okay, that's probably one of the longest messages we've received so far, so let's see what you wrote. It has been great to be on the channel today to showcase a little of what Denmark has to offer to Pakistanis, but also to show some of the areas where we can create beautiful ties and fusion, whether working together for better and cheaper renewable energy for Pakistan, or cooking together and making something new and more than just Pakistan and Denmark. So, thank you so much for having me today. It has been amazing to see all these things you have created in terms of food, and I hope you continue to have an amazing time in Pakistan.
It's been a great pleasure to have you. I hope you enjoyed the food.
Absolutely loved it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's it for today. Please join me again next week. Goodbye.